Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. For who is new here, my name is Sma and this is a channel about semi-hydroponics or passive hydroponics or hydroponics and houseplants. So thank you so much if you are new here, and thank you so much for my returning subscribers that are watching me and encouraging me to do more videos. So a few days ago I posted a question on Instagram, which when I've seen the engagement made me wonder, why do I have so many subscribers or followers or however they are called? I don't like those terms. Why do I have so many people that are following me if just a few of them are commenting? So I need to clean my Instagram because quality over quantity always for me. So I will do that in the next few days, but that's another story. Right, so I've put a question there to ask whoever is following me or interested what they will want to see in my next video. So I had a few people answer, so I will try to cover all the topics, not in this video, but in the next one as well. Most of them, they were asking me how is semi-hydroponics in winter, which I would say it's not so difficult. It's not so different of the semi-hydroponics in summer. What do you have to know in winter? It's the temperature of the water should be between 15 and 25 degrees, not only in winter, always. So 15 and 25. The water in my pot currently it's between 20 and 21, 22 degrees, which is acceptable because the temperature outside in some nights it's really low. So that's why I will always have a heater here set up for 19 degrees, and whenever it's dropping under 19, the heater will start. So another thing that you should know, if you have drafty windows and you have glass set up, you should remove the plants from those drafty windows. The glass will get cold really quickly and the water will get cold really quickly as well. But even if you don't have the same hydroponics, I don't think any plant will like a drafty window in winter. So it's, I think, common sense. Another thing that I'm doing in winter is to keep the reservoir of water really low. So it's just, let's give an example. So I have my Hoya carry, but because Hoya do not like so much water usually, you will see that the water, it's not even touching the pot currently, evaporated. But because it's so tight here, the water will not evaporate through this lip here, through this, however do you call this, there is no gap for the water to evaporate, so it will evaporate actually through the pot, so it will still wake the leca, not in the same manner that is waking the leca. Why is this not focusing? Hello, that's better. So not in the same way that leca will be waked when the water is touching the bottom, but it's still good enough. Another thing that I want to mention, because I had some question about it, plants that are up, right, on a bookshelf, on a shelf, or wherever you are putting them, on a wall, the heat is rising, the humidity it's not. So be careful with the plants that are really high, because of the rising heat, the humidity will not be so high there, which is normal. So if you have plants in semi-hydroponics that are really high, well, really high, that are high, not at the table level, let's say, they will dry quicker, which is not an issue. You can leave the plant actually to dry for a few weeks, to dry, to without a reservoir of water. They will be perfectly fine, because even if the leca is not wet on top, if you remove the top of the leca, you will see underneath the leca is still damp. So if you remove the plant to see the leca, you will see that at the half of the pot, the leca will be actually really moist. So that will be all right depending on the climate for 2 or 3 weeks. In my case, because the humidity, we are in UK, so even now outside the humidity is 100%, so they will be perfectly fine. The temperature here, it's not rising above 20 degrees, which is perfectly fine. So you will not have any issues. If you are in a hotter climate, yeah, that will not last for 2 or 3 weeks. That could last for 2 days. So without the reservoir of water. Someone else asked me if they can do semi-hydroponics in a conservatory where they are 5 to 7 degrees. I don't think you can even grow plants at those temperatures, especially tropical plants. So no, you can't do semi-hydroponics, or I don't think you can grow tropical plants in a 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. So you need a temperature above 17 degrees to 18 for the semi-hydroponics, especially because you are working with water, so that it's getting cold. So I lost my thought. Well, of course I did. It's this coloring process, it's affecting my brain. I swear. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. It does. Right. What else can you do for the plants in winter, especially if they are in semi-hydroponics? I've noticed that some of my plants are starting growing after they didn't do anything during summer. Nothing. Zero. They start putting new leaves now, and I'll make next week like a plant tour, and I think next week will be December already. Yeah, so I'll make like a video for a plant tour, and I will show you which one have new growth. So what do I recommend and what is working for me? I know that a lot of people will say that you don't have to use nutrients every single time, which is debatable. Anyway, we will not debate that now because it doesn't make any sense. Right, I will use nutrients with an EC between 1000 and 1200 in the winter time, every single time that I water my plant. Obviously the water reservoir will not be so big, so it will be smaller, but I will still use the nutrients between 1000 and 1200 EC of nutrients. Now I found a Super Thrive. If you see Rachel's channel, Pretty in Plants, she's swear by it. So I found some Super Thrive, and I'm trying that as well. It's like a plus vitamins for the plant, and well, I can't talk yet about it. I've used it for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't see any difference at the moment. And lost my idea again. Don't bleach your hair 7 times in 7 days. Right, so if I notice some new growth on the plant, I will just raise the EC at 1400 for the plants that I noticed that they have new growth. So only for those I will do that. And another thing for Calathea, however you want to pronounce it, they don't work for me. not all of them, I would say not all of them. My orbifolia, it's all the leaves. I've cut all the leaves today and just let it be to see what is happening. But my mosaica is doing well. I have, which one is that? Rosa Picta? I don't know. I'll put them I'll put the name on the screen. Those two that my husband bought for me last month, they are fine. They do enjoy the semi hydroponics. The Vitata is doing really fine. The Trio Star is doing really fine. But the orbifolia, and I have another example here. Ta-da! This is my beauty star. Well, it's not a beauty star anymore, but see, not working. And for those, I will just put water. I'm not bothered with the nutrients anymore. I'll put water with some Epsom salts and some Super Thrive. That's it at the moment. I'm not giving them any more nutrients because I don't think they like it so much. So I will just put some Epsom salts for magnesium, which helps with the chlorophyll, with the green part of the plant. So I'll put that and a few drops of Super Thrive, and that is it. So not all the plants will do fine in semi hydroponics, and I keep saying that, especially if you are putting a sick plant into semi hydroponics, that will not work ever. So I think that is kind of it. So I'm not doing anything special except that I'm keeping a radiator here, which is set up for 19 degrees always. Another thing that I forgot to tell you, ventilation. Ventilation is really important, especially when you have humidity and central heating or radiators, or you can cause a lot of mold. So what I'm doing every day, I'm trying to open all the windows, even if it's drafty. They don't mind, because I'm doing that for the last 3 months, because in summer everything was opened anyway, so they didn't mind at all the draft. But now I'm opening my windows and my doors and everything around the ground floor for, let's say, 10 minutes, depending on the temperature outside, and that will recirculate the air. I don't have doors that I keep closed here because we don't have a door between this room and the kitchen, so everything it's well ventilated, and I don't have any mold because I ventilate my room. So this is a really important thing, to ventilate in all the seasons, not only in summer or winter or autumn, or every single time. I'm bubbling now. Right, sorry for that. Remember, don't bleach your hair 7 times in 7 days. Right, so where I was, ventilate your room. If you don't want to open windows or you don't want to make a draft, just put a ventilator in, and if you have any doors that are going in your house, just leave them open, and that will help with the ventilation. Again, keep away your plants from the radiators. Usually when I put central heating, I will put some cups with water on the radiator, and that will raise the humidity. It's working really well in that way. But to be fair, the humidity is quite big now because it's raining all day, so outside it's 100% humidity, so it's enough for me to open a door and that's it. The humidity is going up, which is good, but the temperature is going down, which is not. So yeah, So remember to ventilate your room. Still feed your plants, even if you don't feed them as much as you will do in summer. You still need to feed them, because remember, leca, it's a non-organic media, which means that doesn't have any nutrients in it. They have a lot of salts and minerals that can burn the roots. I think I already told you that. And another thing that I want to add, and at the moment I'm getting really concerned because I keep seeing YouTubers trying leca, and I don't know, from the lack of time, or because they don't have the patience, or I don't know what the reason is. They don't research it enough, not enough, just the minimum amount of research just to figure it out how it's working. So I will hate for people to go follow those YouTubers and what they are doing with the plant, and see how they are losing valuable plants, because not everyone is putting in like cuttings and cheap plants. So I don't want to be a bitch, but please, in everything, not only in semi hydroponics, in everything that you want to do, first, don't take the advice of the first person that you see on YouTube, or I don't know, wherever, but please try to make some research, because I will hate for people to lose their plants because they just followed some big YouTubers that I don't know how to put this. So I will stop here. So I want to tell you that pH is really important for the semi hydroponics, because the nutrients that you are putting in water, they get absorbed by the roots of the plant at a certain pH level. So if you Google, so I will not tell you what are the levels, even if I've told you in many videos what are the levels of the pH. But if you Google pH chart absorption, yeah, you will see there what level should be your pH in order for the roots to absorb the nutrients, and at different pH levels how much nutrient a plant will absorb. And this is not only for semi hydroponics, it's for plants in general, because even in soil you can measure the pH. So that will be another reason for which some plants are dying, and even if they are in compost, so you can measure the pH in compost as well, and you can see the levels that are indicated for compost or for semi hydroponics, for the roots to absorb better the nutrients. So that's a really important fact, because even if you don't measure the pH, even if your plants are doing fine for the next 2 or 3 months, after 2 or 3 months you will not see I'm trying not to offend anyone, and I do realize that those YouTubers are not watching my YouTube channel, so I'm trying not to be a bitch, but sometimes I am, just because I have a 5-year experience and I've researched a lot. That's why. So always try to measure your pH, try to measure your EC. It's not so expensive. You are buying those things only once, and that's it. You don't buy them after that anymore. And yes, maybe leca, it's expensive in some parts of the world, but it's not so expensive as compost is, or perlite, or bark, or pit moss, or whatever else you are putting in your compost. And the nutrients, yes, they are expensive, but let me tell you a thing. If you watch my EC video, you'll understand that you maybe need a quarter from what the the producer or the manufacturer it recommended, because that's those are nutrients for the hydroponics, not for the semi-hydroponics, which are two different things. So you will find out that the bottle of nutrients, wherever you choose to buy, should last you for 1 year at least, if you know what you are doing. So it's not so expensive. Let's not overcomplicate anything. It's easy, just as long as you get a grip of what you need to do and what your plants need. And it's the same thing in compost. Till you get a grip of what your plants are needing, you will kill them or not kill them, or they will not grow properly, or whatever. It's the same thing with semi-hydroponics. The difference with semi-hydroponics, if you get a grip, the plant will grow 25% quicker than in compost. And it's a proven fact by scientists. I'm not saying that, scientists are. And if you want me to give you the link of the study research, I will. But let's not overcomplicate this. It's not so easy as you put plant in a pot with leca. I wish it would be so easy, but when you know that in a 4 liters you need to put 5 milliliters of nutrients, 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt, or Epsom salt, magnesium, 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt. And if you know that your water is at 7 pH, and when you put the nutrients it will drop at 6, and you put another 2 drops of pH down, that's it. It's not rocket science. It's easy. So you can make that. You can make 10 liters of water. That should last you. I have 200 plants, guys. 10 liters of water will last me for 3 or 4 months. So I can't see the expensive part in all this. I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't know, maybe someone else can back the difference, but I can't see it. And the things that you will buy, like pH meter, you don't have to buy this one that I have. This is really expensive indeed, but they are cheapest one, 20 pounds. You buy an ECTDS and pH meter with buffer and the calibrating solution, and it's 20 pounds or $20, and it will last you forever if you don't step on it or break it. I don't know how that can be expensive. Yeah, you need to buy leca, but to be fair, to convert all my plants in semi hydroponics, I used 90, maybe 180 liters of leca, which means 4 bags. 2 bags are 23 pounds of aquaponic leca, which is a really good brand in UK. So 50 pounds, let's say 60 pounds for the leca for 200 and something plants, and a pH and the TDS EC meter and some nutrients. The formulex that the nutrients that I use currently, I have them for 1 year and I'm not even halfway through. So I don't see the expensive part in all this. Plus, you water the plants once a month maybe. If you are going through that routine and listen to my advice, which I don't listen to my advice at all, and change the water, the nutrients every 7 to 10 days, yeah, that will require a bit more of work. But Usually if you put the water with the nutrients at in summertime at 1600 EC, if you top up with just with water, filtered water, it will bring that EC to 1400, let's say, which is still good. So, and if you top up that reservoir again when you see it's really low with water, it will bring it at 1000, which is still good because you need a range between 1000 and 2000, depends of how big is the plant, how big is the root system, etc. So it's not expensive. Pests, another thing. You can have pests. Yeah, I've cut my colocasia, black gecko and Kona coffee because they have spider mites on the leaves. That's it. No other plant from my collection had any spider mites, and they were in the middle of there. So where I have my anthurium, where I have my silte picana, my atabapoense, and so on. None of those had spider mites. None of those. Just the colocasia. Cut the leaves. I've cut the leaves. Sprayed with hydrogen peroxide. I put it far away, no. But that's it. They gone. It's not the same thing when you have pests and they going in the compost and lay eggs and they multiplying like crazy. They can't lay eggs in this, in leca. It's not organic media. So they can't lay eggs in there, or maybe if they can lay eggs, the eggs will never hatch because they can't. It's not an organic media. So you will have a reduced number of pests. Whoever is saying that that's not true, well, I really wish for them to prove it. Simple as that. Because spider mites, for example, they don't like humidity. Just think about it, how much humidity it's around the Hoya, right? With all that leca wet and a reservoir of water. Everyone was telling me not to buy the Hoya Bella because they are attracting spider mites like crazy. I have it for 1.5 years. Not even once I had any pests on it. Nothing. So you can have pests. I've just told you can have pests because my colocasia had pests. But it's more easy to manage. It's more easy to get rid of them. And if you don't want to cut the leaves, but I did cut them because she was growing like crazy anyway. They were growing like crazy because they are 2 in a pot. So if you don't want to cut the leaves, you just wipe the leaves with rubbing alcohol with water or hydrogen peroxide that you should cut off with water. Don't put hydrogen peroxide 3% on the leaves because they will die. And wipe the leaves, put it in a, I don't know, far away from all your plants, wherever, and that's it. And repeat the treatment if you think that you have more. But I've cut the leaves and I left some stems, and those stems I sprayed them with hydrogen peroxide 3% because the stems are quite thick and I think they could take it, and they are because they didn't melt or anything like that. They're alright. But the number of the pests, it's reduced simply because, common sense, they can't lay eggs in the pot. If they are pests that are laying eggs on the leaves and things like that, well, I don't know. I don't have any experience with pests. So please feel free to contradict me because I don't have any idea about pests. Right, this is too long and I jump from a subject to another, but sometimes I get so frustrated when I see some videos, and I don't, by the way, I don't dislike them or put mean comments because I don't. I did comment some of the YouTubers and I think they took it the wrong way. and I try to be as nice as I can and explain what they were doing wrong, but I don't think they were interested in knowing that. So yeah, so this will be posted Friday. I really hope you enjoy it. If I was a bitch, I'm sorry, not because I don't want anyone that is trying the semi hydroponics, I don't want to kill their plants, and I want the semi hydroponics. It's really underrated in my opinion, and it's underrated because of the people that are not doing their research properly, and they think they know it all just because they grow some plants. And if you don't believe me, just go and check Miss Orchid Girl. I think she's the mother of the semi hydroponics. I'm following her for the last 5 years, and she has really good videos. She's not using leca anymore because her environment it's not allowing her to do that. Not because she doesn't like the leca, not because leca it's not good for the plants. All right. So if you want to see, she started semi hydroponics I think 5 years ago when I found her on YouTube when I wanted to put my orchids into leca, and she's a wonderful girl. She has a huge collection, and I still think that she has some orchids in semi hydroponics. Sorry. So yeah, I think that is it for today. I'm going to clean my Instagram up because I just want people to engage. I want people to ask questions. I want to help people with the semi hydroponics, which hopefully I'm doing so far. And please, if you want to put your houseplants in semi hydroponics and you don't have enough information, and I know you are really anxious to do it, just try to gather most information that you can when you have the time. Don't hurry, it's not competition. And don't go for the first video that you find. Just go on Google, and Google will tell you everything about semi hydroponics and everything you need to know, or hydroponics, because someone corrected me telling me that they are the same thing. They're not. But yeah, this is getting way too long again. Oh, Jesus. I hope you'll have the patience to see this till the end, because you need to understand that not semi hydroponics is not just putting a bare rooted plant in bowls with water. And once you get a grip of all the notions, of all the facts that you need to know about it, it's really easy, it's really manageable. You can go on holiday for 2 weeks or 3 without any issues. So and your plant, depending on the climate now, because this is an important factor as well, the climate. So you don't have to take my word on it, just try it. And yeah, that's it. I've decided not to say the subscribe thing anymore, because if you're interested in this, you will subscribe or not, I don't care. So as far as your plants are well in semi hydroponics, I don't care about numbers. So thank you for having the patience to watch me. I know I'm not the best person to explain things. I know I've been a bitch, but I had a frustrating time watching so many videos that they didn't know what they were talking about, but they were so convinced that they do. Sorry, I'm sorry again, but this is the true. I'm growing in semi hydroponics for 5 years, and you will see my results on Instagram, on my Instagram page, because I'm putting their updates every day. All right, okay, see you guys next Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and hope the weather is better than sorry, your weather is better than the weather in UK, and have a great weekend. Bye.